So Seth Roth just got revealed, and I've been recently working on this video for a little while. So that kind of flips the script, cause I kind of sort of predicted Seth Roth in this video, but I kind of didn't stick to my schedule, so posting this a little late. So since that happened, there's plenty of other characters that I wrote down here in this list. So I kind of want to stick with it. I have a gut feeling that these next couple characters that I say might get in the game, hopefully. Hey everyone, I'd like to start off the video by saying this is a semi-prediction video. The reason why I say that is because I'm not the smartest guy, and although Nintendo is listening to the fans, we never truly know what they're going to do because they are Nintendo after all. We freaking got Wii Fit Trainer, we also got Steve, a fan favorite, but my point is, these two characters are extremely bizarre, and even though Steve was wanted in Smash by many, I never would have expected them to actually put him in the game, which is like really like super cool. And Wii Fit Trainer is actually really cool as well. So what I'm going to do is make a mix of characters between who I want in Smash, so sort of a wish list, and what the fans want, so characters that are extremely popular or are in high demand to be put in the Fighter's Pass. Which brings me to a character that would make a lot of sense. Eggman. For one, Nintendo wanted to add more baddies to their video game, so Eggman fits perfectly in the roster. The reason why I chose Eggman over Shadow was because I feel like Shadow's moveset would be too similar to Sonic's. And Eggman is the main villain after all. So Eggman would most likely have a nice toolkit, he'd also be a heavy, and Sakurai could mess around with the Eggman from Sonic Adventure 2 and probably give him like a bunch of crazy attacks or make him similar to Bowser Jr. Not exactly the same, but make him extremely cool and give him a bunch of like wacky attacks in his little pod thingy, his little robotic machine thing. Let's move on. Crash Bandicoot. Why I think Crash would be a fine choice is because the fans wanted him in Smash for such a long time. Not only that, but he's been making a huge comeback recently with the trilogy and Crash 4, It's About Time. A canon game in the series that we've been waiting 22 years for. Also, one major advantage Crash has against the others is that he was a big competitor against Sega and Nintendo in the 90s. So, like Sonic and Brawl kicking Mario's meatballs, this time it would be both Mario and Sonic going against Crash in the reveal. And obviously he's been in plenty of games, so I'm sure his moveset would be from his main 4 games. Possibly from the other ones, but I could see Sakurai taking inspiration from those 4. Rayman is another fan favorite that's been asked for since Smash 4. And Ubisoft have been companions with Nintendo for a long time. They even made Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and they've always released games on Switch like Assassin's Creed and Just Dance, so they have a really strong bond with them. But other than that, Rayman has been released in Brawlhalla, and they could take inspiration from that, or obviously from his mainstream games. My guess is that it'd be an easy moveset to make, and Rayman's still talked about today by many people. Dante would be the perfect choice. The Devil May Cry series is literally all about action and combat, so an insane moveset with his guns Ebony and Ivory and his sword Rebellion, in my opinion, would be a little easier for Sakurai and the team. Also because his appearance in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. He also has a great moveset in those games, and I'm sure the team could take inspiration from that as well. So he has a strong chance. Also, because of the reps from Capcom, that being Mega Man, Ryu, and Ken, I'm sure that'll give him an even bigger chance to get in the game. This next one might be a weird choice for some of you, but here's why I put him here. Unlike Dante, he wouldn't be another sword fighter. I'm a casual fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so they could take inspiration from that if they wanted to. Also, I'm not saying Dante wouldn't be an amazing choice. He definitely would be. If it was my choice, I'd honestly take both. rather than 1, but there are 3 to 4 slots left, so I'm not sure if they'd add another sword fighter because, you know, we do have a lot of sword fighters in the game already, so this would be a great alternate pick if they don't pick Dante. But if they added him, I think that'd be quite the gift because I really do want him in the game. Sora would be a great choice, but I've done some research and Nintendo has confronted Disney Japan on this matter, and they even asked if they could add Sora and Smash Brothers, but they denied the request. And the reason I'm mentioning Sora on here is that we as a community have made big differences to the roster, getting insane characters like Cloud, Banjo, and Steve. And maybe if the fans give it a little push, it's certainly possible that Sora can be added because he is quite the popular character, and hopefully if he gets added in Smash, maybe you could also get Donald and Goofy in his moveset. But either way, I really do hope Sora gets added. And yeah, he certainly does have a chance because he is super popular, so we'll see. The boy Geno, he's another big character that's been requested ever since Brawl. There's been so much hype around this character for such a long time, and he's kind of like a brother to Nintendo just because of Super Mario RPG. Also, Sakurai and the team can take inspiration from Project M Geno if they were ever in a jam making him. Also, another advantage Geno has, just like Ubisoft, Square Enix is another company that supports Nintendo big time. They also have 2 reps in the game already, so that's a good sign. And Geno is technically from a Nintendo game already, so it just makes sense. Tsubi would be a cool character because it'd be nice to add another female character to the roster. Although she's not the most popular character in this list, she would be quite the bizarre choice from Nintendo because they do love to give us surprises. My guess is that she'd use Pod 42 to help fight, like she'd be kind of similar to Rosalina and Luma, and maybe she could do like some sort of switch to combat mode or something like that, and switch between range to close combat, and the character select screen can swap between 2B and 9S. But if that's OP, then it'd be either or range or close combat. Now on to the finale, and this is what I think might happen, and if not, the characters can be swappable with others, but I think Crash Bandicoot has a huge chance of making it in just because of his comeback and because of his high demand in the game. Next, I think Rayman would make it in just because of his hype and high demand from Smash 4, and the bond between Ubisoft and Nintendo is really strong, making that a good sign. Finally, I think Dante would make it in just because he's built for fighting games, and his guest appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and the other Marvel vs. Capcom games would make it easier on the devs to make him, giving him a better chance than the other guys. I'd say these 3 have a pretty good chance of getting in, but if they don't, then I hope the others in this list get in. I really hope everyone gets at least one character they want in Smash Brothers, but I'll leave the video at that. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one, guys. Peace.